Hey guys, it's Libby, and today I'm here to talk about what the difference is between body dysmorphia and low self-esteem. If you're somebody who is struggling with their self-image or their body image, you might be wondering, is this just regular low self-esteem or is it something more? Is it body dysmorphic disorder? I do want to preface this though by saying that this video is not a diagnostic tool. I do not want you to watch this video and then go diagnose yourself with this disorder or diagnose a friend or a family member or whatever. That's not what this video is for. This video is just to give you a little information so you can learn a little bit about what it is. If you do think you or someone else you know might have this disorder, then I highly recommend seeking out a licensed professional like a counselor, a therapist, social worker, psychologist, psychiatrist, whatever, to get a formal diagnosis or a non-diagnosis. So what is low self-esteem? Well, low self-esteem is where you have a generally good feeling about yourself. In general, you like yourself. However, there are some things that you're critical about. Those things can be like internal characteristics, or they can be external, like appearance, things you see. And yes, low self-esteem can get pretty severe. Things can build upon one another, and it can feel really bad. But that still doesn't mean that it's body dysmorphic disorder. Low self-esteem, as unpleasant as it is completely normal. I mean, think about it. Think about all the media that you intake and think about social media and all the people you see. Do you ever make comparisons between yourself and your friends or famous people or whatever it is? You probably do, and that's just part of being human, and that might lead to you being critical about yourself about some things. One way to look at the difference between low self-esteem and body dysmorphic disorder is, does it cause a disruption in your everyday life? Now, that's not like the one factor that differentiates the two, but that's a good hint. So yes, every day you might have a little trouble putting on clothes because you don't like how something looks on you, but is it really like a big disruption, you know? Something to note about body dysmorphic disorder is that these thoughts you're having about yourself seem more important than anything else. You know, they're all consuming, they take up so much mental capacity, they really have an effect on your daily living. But now let's talk about body dysmorphic disorder. So I will be giving you guys the requirements for this disorder as written by the DSM-5. The DSM-5 stands for the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders in its 5th edition. So the DSM-5 is broken into different categories of types of disorders. Body dysmorphic disorder falls under the obsessive compulsive disorder and other related disorders category. The reason for that is that a key feature of this disorder is the ruminations, the obsessive thoughts that you have. So it's an obsessive disorder, and then a lot of people also have compulsions related to it, making it related to the compulsions aspect as well. So the DSM has 4 major criteria that you need to hit in order to get this diagnosis, and I'm gonna go ahead and read them out for you word for word. The first one is preoccupation with one or more perceived defects or flaws in physical appearance that are not observable or appear slight to others. The second criteria is that at some point during the course of the disorder, the individual has performed repetitive behaviors such as mirror checking, excessive grooming, skin picking, or reassurance seeking, or mental acts such as comparing his or her appearance with that of others in response to the appearance concerns. The third criteria is that the preoccupation causes clinically significant distress or impairment in social, occupational, or other important areas of functioning. And the final criteria is the appearance preoccupation is not better explained by concerns with body fat or weight in an individual whose symptoms meet diagnostic criteria for an eating disorder. Additionally, the DSM lists a couple of specifiers. So specifiers basically just add a little detail to the specific case that you're diagnosing. So the first available specifier is that you specify if the person is with muscle dysmorphia. So basically, in short, what that is, it is body dysmorphia about your muscles. So the focus of the dysmorphia surrounds the muscles, usually perceiving them as too small. This is really common among men with body dysmorphia, but females can have it too. The second available specifier option is that you specify if the person is with good or fair insight, poor insight, or absent insight. So basically what insight is, it is the degree to which a person is kind of aware that something is going on, you know, that these thoughts they're having is due to a mental disorder. But those are the diagnostic criteria and the specifiers involved with diagnosing body dysmorphic disorder. Again, I just want to throw in that you should not be diagnosing yourself. You cannot do that. So if you think though that watching this you're like, I think I resonate with some of this, go ahead and speak to a mental health provider. I do want to mention something with this last criteria, something that was told to me by a therapist at an eating disorder recovery center. So it is possible for people with an eating disorder to also have body dysmorphic disorder. However, in that case, your body dysmorphic disorder must have to do with more than just your body's shape and size, because those things are better explained by your eating disorder. But you could have body dysmorphic disorder about other aspects of your appearance, like your face, unless it's like your face's shape, you know, due to weight or something, or your hands or your hair or something else. It just has to be more than just your body's shape and weight and size. If you have body dysmorphic disorder, your worth might feel tied to these things that you're thinking about yourself. Say somebody just has typical low self-esteem and they don't like how their arms look, okay? So, you know, they're a little insecure about it, you know, they try to hide it, whatever, but they don't think my arms are ugly, therefore I am trash, you know? But if you have body dysmorphic disorder, you might think that, you might say, my arms are disgusting, I am disgusting, I am a worthless piece of crap. You know, so your worth might be tied to it. Like I said at the beginning, when you have low self-esteem, your overall view on yourself is good. You know, you overall like yourself. But with body dysmorphic disorder, those things being tied to your value, being tied to your worth, you might not feel that way about yourself. The last thing I want to mention is demographics with this. So it is very common to see in adolescence, and I think that that is because that is a time where you are so focused on what you look like, what everybody else looks like, what you think you should look like, what you don't want to look like, you know. It's just a time in your life where everybody's really focused on those things, and it's a time in your life when your body is changing. All of that coming together kind of indicates why it's so common among adolescents. I do also want to mention though that body dysmorphic disorder impacts both men and women. And like I mentioned, muscle dysmorphia is really common among men, yes, but men can also experience other forms or other triggers or whatever of body dysmorphic disorder. If you're experiencing either low self-esteem, or you think you might be experiencing body dysmorphic disorder, or you've been diagnosed with it, I want you to know that there is hope. There are ways that you can go about improving and managing this condition or your low self-esteem. You know, like, this isn't a hopeless fight. That's what I want you to know. There is hope, and I highly recommend that if you are struggling, whether this is diagnosable for you or not, I highly recommend you seek out a mental health provider who can help you get through it, because there are tools out there that you don't even know about maybe, and they could really help you. So yeah, I hope that this video was informative. Again, it is not a diagnostic tool, so please don't diagnose yourself with this now. If you think you need that diagnosis or think you might get it or something, go see a mental health provider who is professional and licensed. But yeah, if you guys have any suggestions for upcoming videos, feel free to leave them down below in the comments or send me a message on Instagram or something. I would love to hear it. But yeah, so have a good day, guys.